Marley's Pride. To those who live outside of the gender box, stand in your pride. To my mom and Rocky, who showed me it's okay to live authentically. It's the first day of June, and our house is bustling with excitement. Happy Pride, Marley! Zaza sings as they tap, clap, and snap their way up and down the halls. My grandparents love Pride Month, the parade, the rainbow themed brunches, the drag story times. They can't get enough, but not me. When I think of the crowds and the loud noises, my tummy feels squirmy and my chest feels tight. It's like someone is squeezing me so hard I can't breathe. Every year, every year, when June comes around, Zaza starts raving about the parade. It's gonna be so much fun. All our friends will be there. I can't wait to see who's performing. And every year, I find a reason not to go. Luckily, Zaza understands. Don't you worry, sugar. I'll bring you back something special. They say every time. The thing is, deep down, I really do want to go. When I'm alone, I pretend that I'm right there with Zaza, having a ball. This year, Zaza is getting an award for all of their work helping transgender folks like us. They will even get to ride on a float. And I want to be there for all that. If only I could figure out how to calm my nerves. On the morning of the parade, while Zaza is in their room getting fabulous, I head to the bathroom to give myself one last pep talk. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Breathe in, breathe out. Then I pack my essentials, my noise canceling headphones, my fidget spinner, and of course, my lavender bunny. Okay, ready, I say to myself. We pull up to the parade, and my mind starts racing. What if I get lost? What if people keep bumping into me? What if I can't find the bathroom? Zaza, I am so not ready. Just as I'm about to crawl under the car seat to hide, Zaza gives me a big bear hug, and I tell them all of my worries. It's okay to be scared. If you want to turn back, we can head right on home. But remember, Marley, Pride isn't just a big old party. It's about celebrating who we are, about community and love. You belong here. You aren't doing this alone. I think about Zaza's words. Fitting in can be hard for me sometimes. Like when I can't choose between the boys and the girls team, or when I'm the only kid who uses they them pronouns. I look around and see gender neutral bathrooms and people wearing all sorts of pronoun pins. I realize that things might be easier here. Okay, Zaza, I'll give it a try. As we make our way through the crowds, my hands are sweating. My heart is racing. Then Zaza lifts me onto their shoulders. Suddenly, everything is different. I feel lighter. My heart stops thumping so hard. A gentle breeze and a cloud of bubbles kisses my cheek. Finally, I can breathe. Up here, people look a little bit smaller. and a little less scary. There's laughing, hugging, and so much singing happening all around me. Even the flags join the party as they dance and sway in the wind. It all seems so magical. After a while, I tap Zaza on the shoulder. I think I'm ready to come down now. We bump into some old friends, and we also meet lots of new people. I'm Marley. I'm Zane, and this is Stacy and Keisha. I love your pronoun pins, I say shyly. Thanks, take one. I have tons of them at home. Zane insists as she hands me a few to choose from. My heart does a double black backflip when I find the they pin. It's time for the parade. Zaza jiggles, wiggles, and shakes their entire body to the music. They dance and sing with our new friends as our float makes its way through the city. Before long, the float reaches the stage. That's when it hits me. I'm going to be alone while Zaza is presenting. Here come butterflies in my tummy. Then something unexpected happens. Hey Marley, come and join us. We saved a spot just for you. Zane shouts as they wave me over. There are goosebumps all over my arms. I can't believe it. They really like me. Good luck, Zaza, I call out as I run to join Zane, Stacy, and Keisha. Zaza steps up to the podium to get their award. Then they share their story. They talk about the joys of opening our home to those in need and helping those transitioning. They also remember Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Riviera, and other brave transgender heroes who weren't afraid to stand up for the trans community. People are clapping, cheering, and even crying. They are amazing! They are such an inspiration! Wait, are they all talking about my Zaza? I get warm all over. Then my heart feels bigger. It swells and it swells until it feels like it might burst out of my chest. I run over and give Zaza a huge hug. You had quite a day, Marley. How are you feeling? Zaza asked with a smile. Today was a little scary and kind of hard, but it was also amazing. Finally, I understand why Zaza loves Pride. It might be loud and crowded, and people definitely bump into you a lot. But this is my community, my family. This is where I belong. No matter how I choose to celebrate, my feelings about Pride and myself won't change. Zaza, I said, gazing out to the cheering crowd. I feel really proud. More about Marley's Pride. What is LGBTQIA+? It is an acronym or a group of letters that stand for a different word. Sometimes this group of people is also called simply the queer community. L, lesbian. G, gay. B, bisexual. T, transgender. Q, queer or questioning. I, intersex. A, asexual. Plus stands for all other identities not listed. What does queer mean? Queer is a word that is used to be an insult, but that many people in the LGBTQIA community now use as a positive term that includes all the identities in the acronym. How do Marley and Zaza identify? Marley isn't sure whether to join the boys' team or the girls' team. Someone who does not identify as part of a gender binary is called non-binary. Some non-binary people also identify as transgender, but some do not. Marley and Zaza both use they them pronouns. What is gender identity? A person's gender identity is who they know themselves to be on the inside. This can include a boy, girl, both, neither, and anything in between. Someone whose gender identity matches their sex they were assigned at birth is called cisgender or cis. Someone whose gender identity is different from the sex they were assigned at birth is called transgender or trans. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word used to refer to ourselves and others instead of a name or noun. Pronouns reflect a person's identity. People may change their pronouns, and some use more than one pronoun. Examples: she, her, hers; he, him, his; they, them, theirs; sie, her, hers. What is gender neutral mean? A word or phrase that's not associated with a specific gender is called gender neutral. For example, instead of fireman, you can say firefighter. Zaza is a gender neutral grandparent's name. How do you use a gender neutral pronoun? They or other gender neutral pronouns are used in the same way as a gendered pronouns she and he. For example, Zaza is excited that they are going to the Pride Parade with me today. Can you find the flags in the book? The history of pride. Marley has a hard time fitting in sometimes. Why do they feel this way? Queer people all over the world have experienced discrimination or not being treated fairly or given the same rights as everyone else for a very long time. Chosen family are people who are not related but decide to love and support each other. Pride started as an act of protest. These protests were often led by the most marginalized members of the community, such as black and brown trans women and drag queens. On June 28, 1969, there was a protest at the Stonewall Inn in New York City, led by trans activists Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Riviera. The first Pride March was held the following year, on June 28, 1970, to mark the anniversary of the Stonewall protest. An activist is someone who works to change the world in a positive way. In this story, Zaza receives an award for being an activist in the trans community. Every year, the world, the LGBTQIA+ community, friends, family, and allies come together to celebrate Pride Month with drag story times, festivals, and parades. Who is involved? Queer people and allies, or their supporters. What is involved? A big old party. But not just that. Where? Today, Pride is celebrated in over 100 countries around the world. Pride celebrations are as unique and diverse as the people who attend them. When? Usually in June or July. Why? To remember those who have fought for LGBTQIA+ rights, to celebrate the queer community, to advocate for change. How? Floats, costumes, and performances, rainbow-themed meals, spending time with chosen family. What if you don't like parades? Marley has sensory sensitivities. Big crowds make their heart pound, their hands feel sweaty, and their thoughts race. Marley wears noise-canceling headphones so the crowd doesn't sound so loud. They also carry a fidget spinner and a soft-scented stuffed animal to hold. If you feel this way sometimes too, you can talk to a trusted adult about the way you feel, like Marley talks to Zaza, remember that it's okay to have those feelings and you are not alone.